Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Chef's Meal, where we talk about whatever and never and everything else in between. Boom. Local recording. And we are good to go. Oh my God, this is crazy.
We're good to go. Oh snap. We're good. We're good.
We're good to go. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh man. This is I don't even know where my stuff is. Hold on. I'm trying to find the stuff. Okay. I think I got this. So it's gonna go something like, ladies and gentlemen, rush hour in the building.
Hey.
Welcome to the Chef's Meal. My name is Casey.
I'm Sean, and we are two chefs going on about our lives, one finished plate at a time.
Now we're talking about whatever and never and everything else in between.
Yes, sir.
Now, Sean, question for you, because you were in the beautiful area of New Orleans once again. Did you have gumbo? And where?
I did have gumbo.
Did you have gumbo?
Okay, so we did have a lovely chicken gumbo. This was served as the first course at our good family friend's wedding.
Okay.
And this was at the Wyndham Hotel.
Oh, okay. I know where that is.
Yeah.
Never been to it. I know where it is.
Yeah, this is the second time we've been there. We haven't stayed there, but last time we were in New Orleans, some of our friends stayed there, and obviously this time this is where the wedding was. Wow. The gumbo was amazing.
Yeah,
amazing.
You even showed me a picture of it. Screw you!
I had to show you a picture of it. I mean, currently we have gumbo on our menu in the restaurant that we're working at, and while it's fine, nothing compares to the original, you know.
Trust me, I know it's
yeah.
Hold on, why is the thing not playing? It should
Hey guys, we're dealing with technical difficulties.
No, we're not. It's just the screen. I'm like trying to read our stuff, but it's not going through it. It's annoying. So Sean, check this out. Saturday. So I told you we are we are 6 weeks away before our dreaded deadline of closing in the restaurant. Saturday, I come in, I don't know, like 10 or something, maybe a little earlier. I'm changing in the back room, right? And I hear, oh my God. All our pantry women are like going crazy. I'm like, what the is going on? I got changed. I got out. I'm like, what's going on? They're like, we saw the rat. I'm like, what the what rat?
A rat?
They don't. It's
okay.
A mouse,
right? Not okay.
However, they're like, it's the big one. I was like, oh, that guy. It's the same dude I'm trying to catch. There's this big dude. There's just one big dude, and it's kind of running around, causing havoc in our restaurant currently. He's like the smart one. He knows, and he says hi to you every other morning or so. He's the bold one. I'm gonna call him he. He's a he. Okay, I'm gonna call him Frank. So Frank is a little more. What's that word? Let's just say he's not shy. Okay, he'll come out slowly, greet you in the morning, maybe have a cup of coffee, and then go back to his business.
Do you like espresso? Because I'm on one.
Yeah, that's all I gotta say to that, Sean. Nazi desu ka?
Yeah.
That means why or how?
Why? Okay. Yeah, that's super helpful to our audience. Yeah, full disclosure. We do have an aggressive pest control program provided by the lovely people at Ecolab. They really are doing their best. So, you know, our restaurant is closing and the restaurant next door happened to close. And
that's feeding everything.
When they closed, it made for some issues for us. Mm-hmm. So, you know, we do everything that we can. Again, and for the most part, you know, that issue has been resolved, but
Yeah.
I guess Frank, man, Frank
It's
is
just the one dude. It's just the one guy.
Frank is it.
And he showed up at 10. Like all the
Wow.
full staff is out, you know, like everybody's working. And then just kind of just comes out like, yo, what is going on, dude? And then here's the funny for you really quickly.
Okay.
Later on that day, I want to say 1 p.m. now. And we got rocked. Like lunch has been going steady for some reason. And a weird time, like around 2 p.m. So right before I cut.
That is weird.
Right before I cut our staff for breaks, all the other, or rather I should say everyone and their mothers come into Lego Seafoods to have lunch. And from there, Saturday night business from 2 p.m. till 4:30. And it was nuts. And I'm like, Rosie, sides, let's do it. He goes, oh, where's Carl? I'm like, Carl, yo, come over. He's like, what? I'm like, yo, can you just help Rosie give me some sides, some stuff. Sailor's yelling at the other side because there's nobody on grill, and I'm trying to do like 3 things all at one go. And then Gladys goes, did we get Boston cream pie because we didn't have any from Friday? I'm like, hold on. Now I'm yelling for Val, our dishwasher. And at one point, Rob goes, are we just yelling for people? I was like, yeah. Runners! At the same time, I had maybe 13, 14, like 15 plates in the window that needed to go. No staff to be found. Because that's the time when we cut people, pretty much. People go on break and all that. And we were like, I was like, how many's on there? Like, he's like 2. Yeah, that's what happened, Sean.
Yeah, I was curious. So, what was it? Saturday night? I get like a group text. They're just like, can we borrow some stuff from over there? I'm like, why would we? We just got Sunday. Stuff earlier today. Like, oh yeah. So I'm just like, wow, it must have been incredibly busy over this weekend. So I mean,
check it out. Friday, we usually average like $8,000, right, for the night or whatever. We did 11, so I'm already behind 3,000 coming in a Saturday order, and I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna get screwed. Whatever. Saturday. And I'm like, it has not been busy at all, right? I mean, it's a little busy, but not enough that all these products are going to go, out. At the end of Saturday night, just about 18,000.
Wow.
Yep. So where I was expecting just about 15, I'm down 6,000 already just from the 2 days. Come Sunday, there's no product. I mean, there
would be nothing. And obviously with the news of our restaurant closing, it seemed as if business was trending down significantly. Like during the week, it was so
yeah. Just during the weekdays is like it's trash. It really is. There's nothing there. But the weekends, man, and I'm like, yo, this is. And then Sunday, even though we ran out of most items, we still did $8,000. So it was still like it was a decent weekend, but I just felt bad for staff because I didn't have any product in it. But can you guess? And here's my one final two. Can you guess how many species of proteins we had left in the building?
Oh, had left.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm going specific.
I'm not going to check it. I'm not going to check and look at my.
There's only 2. I'm going to give you that. There's only 2 things left in the entire restaurant besides shellfish. I had shellfish.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Guess me proteins. There's only 2 left in the building.
Okay, so I'm going to guess one of them is salmon. And the other, I'm just trying to think of like what we would typically have the most of.
Wait. Give me a second. Let me redo that. Okay, now go.
Oh snap! Okay, we got this is amazing. So I'm gonna go with salmon, and by protein, am I counting like the chicken and also
No,
the fillets and stuff?
just fish.
No, just fish. Okay, all right. Because I was gonna say we probably got some.
So you said salmon.
So I'm gonna say salmon is one, and I'm gonna go with wild card. Calamari.
Are those your two final answers?
Yes. What do I win?
Now, you win.
Oh no.
You get a wow prize for that one, Sean.
Okay.
We had salmon, correct.
Oh, okay, all right. 50% there, okay.
So you're 50% there. However, no squid.
Wow. No squid. Wow. Okay.
The other protein was tuna. We had salmon and tuna.
See, all right. So my second guess would have been one of like the crab meat, like the lump crab meat. Just thinking like, all right, what do we typically have? Some going into a Monday or a Tuesday. I'm like, we always have a few cans of that left. Mm-hmm. So, and then typically squid.
However, you did pretty good for 50%, so you get a little bonus. You get a little bonus shout out there, Sean. But we ran out. At every hour, I'm like, hey guys, look, listen, we're playing this game today. Okay, I understand you guys have an attitude right now. Okay, but we need to
dry erase markers.
We need to. No. I gave them a short order list. I'm like, here's what we have. Sell this. So much so that we ran out of sides. Sides, no sides. We only had we had white rice, we had brown rice, we had mashed potatoes.
Okay.
I was waiting for the big sound. And we had carrots. That's it.
Carrots?
That's
Wait, so the large carrots or the baby carrots?
The large carrots.
Oh my God, you guys don't understand.
I got rock.
Those large carrots. Those large carrots would, as a side, is like break all the emergency glass.
I broke every freaking side inside the building. Wow. We ran out of corn. No
spinach.
No
nothing?
Little potatoes.
Wow, you ran out
no
of
broccoli.
The red.
Yeah, or shut up. There's no size. When I said there's no size, I mean there's also fries that I didn't run out of.
Sure, okay.
But I had every damn thing else out. So I was like, it's just fries and rice. So we're a Colombian restaurant for the next 3 hours. Okay.
So you guys, did you run out of the lobster meat for lobster rolls?
Lobster meat. Oh no. We had those. Yeah.
See, all right. Like,
I should have been more specific. Like
when you get that low, is like you just shut everything down. You get one cart, you push it out into the dining room, and you're just like, we're selling lobster rolls. That's it.
We are buffet style tonight.
Look.
That's what happened. So we were, like I said, I feel bad, but at the same time, I couldn't foresee it. Sure. We've been so
everything
average.
Was trending everything is trending the other way,
and even so, like even our weekends were still normal on what we do for business, so there was no reason for me to hike it up the extra $7,000 that we did to make up for it. But obviously, since we did that, we're gonna do it this week. We're gonna hike it up ever so slightly, so we're not gonna but then again, I'm telling you right now, I have that feeling we're not going to go through it, and we're never going to waste it. Right. But it's okay.
It's like, you don't want to be too aggressive the opposite way, to the listeners, because like it could be disastrous. Like the worst thing you'd want, especially in the business that we're in, which is, Casey had mentioned, which I don't know if we'd mentioned before, is the seafood restaurant. It's like you don't want to have too much seafood on hand. You don't want to do that. Like that is a bad look. It's wasteful. So I guess if we did, sounds like 25% more business than we anticipated. Maybe we bump it up by like 15. Kind of do a little bet hedging.
Yep.
But Yeah, because the worst is like now you got all this stuff and no one to sell it to. So you're just gonna throw it out. You just wasted your money. You'll ruin your food cost. And yeah.
But Sean.
Mm-hmm.
Some fries, motherfucker.
Can you guess how I'm doing this?
I'm assuming that you have constructed some sort of soundboard that is playing locally on your machine.
Kinda. So here, check it out. I'll show it to you because it took me about 3 hours of troubleshooting. So
this is Casey's Tech Tuesday. I'm staying silent this episode.
I'm blowing up to the other screen. Let me get it up real quick so you can see the screen at the moment. However, this piece of software, can you see this?
Voicemeeter Banana.
So Voicemeeter Banana, I love these guys. I've already donated. They have $80 in their pocket because of this. I fully on donated. Shout out to them. I love you guys. If you want to be a sponsor, you are a sponsor. That's what it is. However, this is my level right here for my mic. Okay. This is for my desktop A1. If I click that, I can hear myself. It will feedback.
All right.
A2 is anything that I play over here on my actual screen. You can hear and I can hear. Okay.
Sure.
This right here is my phone. So currently, if you can see right here are the sounds being played through my phone. That's connected via a dongle. And this is happening as a like a mic. It has a mic input. So that's what that channel is. So every time I play something,
Nani?
Boom.
you should hear it
wow.
right on this end. Now,
Yeah, I
there's
see
other
it,
two
and
channels.
I'm watching the levels pop up and down. Okay.
Mm-hmm. This one is a free channel that I'm not using. However, this one is you. So whatever whatever you hear is right here. Now, if I click this, you will feed back into here, and it's not really fun.
Okay.
You're a double of everything.
No, don't want that.
You don't want that. However, just keep on talking so we can make it official.
Sure. Hey, wow.
Wait. Keep going.
I'm scared by the feedback that's
happening right now.
That was cool, right? You get a little delay feedback on your end. And then this one right here is what you hear all over the place. So if I mute this, you can't hear anything. But that is the piece of software that we are running. So shout out to Voicemeeter Banana.
Shout out to Voicemeter Banana.
I love you guys.
And shout out to Casey
donated.
because that was Tech Tuesday. Like, there's nothing that I had this week that was going to be as good as that real-time demo.
That's a real-time demo right there. And then on Audacity, as I'm recording, this format over here should pull from that side over. So I'm recording that with real-time sounds as we're doing. So like I said, if you haven't already, Voicemeeter Banana, go ahead and donate. Shout out. Love these guys. Okay.
I'm giggling over here because usually I have to listen to the produced podcast to kind of hear where Casey's gonna drop in the
drop
the sound effects. Yeah,
that's right. That is true.
Really dope.
So now you're getting all the goodness. However, like I mentioned,
now you just need to hire an intern to sit on your phone and drop in the sound effects yourself.
Hey Kevin, can you give me an applause real quick?
Thanks, Kev.
Thanks, Kevin. We're just gonna look to the side and pretend there's somebody there named Kevin to give me drop audio at all times. Oh, let me pull up the other one. Now, however, dude, Sean, like I do wanna still do Tech Tuesday, but are you ready?
Okay.
For Sean's Tech.
Whoa.
Sean's Tech Tuesday.
Hey, I'm dancing over here, guys.
Sean's Tech Tuesday.
There you go. Live feed of Sean's Tech Tuesday. How good does that feel? How great did
that is
give
amazing.
You satisfaction?
Papa, I feel like a real podcast now.
Oh my goodness. Sean, take it away, Sean. Whatever.
Sure. So today's Tech Tuesday is gonna take a step a few years back to MP3s. And,
we are going back that way.
Yeah, we're going
bringing them to
way
the
back
mainstream.
when to MP3s and
MP3 players
music.
or just MP3?
Just MP3s. MP3s. I mean, we'll do another show on MP3 players another day. But yeah, the MP3. MP3s, which I would assume everyone listening to this podcast is familiar. It was and it still is a format for digitizing music. And before MP3s, when music was digitized, it was sort of contained as a waveform. Like that waveform was a representation of the peaks and valleys of an audio file, generally music way back when. And before MP3s, those files took up a lot of space. And they took up a lot of space at the point in time where most people didn't have access to large hard drives. So to store music and to kind of transfer it on the internet, which we'll get into in a little bit, they came up with a way to compress it and keep as much of the audio spectrum that people would need to have like a decent representation of the original audio file in the MP3 file. So MP3 stands for MPEG 1 audio layer 3. And not to get too far in the weeds, but MPEG is a way to capture and produce video. And the MP3 was the audio portion of that recorded video. So you could take a WAV file and compress it down so small that you could transfer it. Like I said, you could store it on hard drives that were really tiny at the time, and you could transfer it over the internet with internet speeds that are at this point 200, 500 times slower than what the average household can get. Did I lose you?
My headphones was being a little tricky.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. You can keep going though.
Sure, yeah. So, I mean, now we live in a world in which everything is streaming. But the technology behind the MP3 kind of empowers the way we do everything online. Video formats now, they're in MPEG 4, and those are the basis for the streaming we do on like YouTube, all sorts of websites, Netflix, things like Blu-ray, which have significant storage, but they take advantage of the compression algorithms that are kind of based on the underlying technology of MP3s. I mean, things like Spotify and iTunes, and even the podcast you're listening to right now, they all benefit from the fact that, software and engineers were able to make audio into as small a format as possible and sound as good as it possibly can. So, yeah, this Tech Tuesdays, it's just a shout out to the MPEG 3.
Did you know? And I after reading this wiki and after my headphones just kind of shooting out, it's low on battery. That's what it was. Sorry about that. However, I did not know this. The MPEG format stands for the Moving Picture Experts Group. So
Yep.
something, the motion pictures people have done it. I'm not sure. Wiki, if you guys haven't already, shout out to Wiki. Wiki has all these information, and I believe people just input their stuff into here, like actual.
Yeah,
it's like a free.
Yeah, at this point, it's a free open standard. I don't believe it was always the case, but yeah, now at this point, it's there are free MPEG 3 decoders that you can pretty much install into anything, and the fact that it was free made it very easy for a lot of companies to start to produce the MP3 playing formats and players that we have today. That's why your phone can play MP3s, your car can play MP3s. the iPod and iPhone took off like they did. MPEG 2, if I'm not mistaken, is like the video format behind DVD, so that's why it took off in the way that it did. And I mean, the reason that we have Bluetooth headphones, like the ones that I believe that you're using, work on similar technology about like taking sound files and compressing them down so that they can be transmitted wirelessly at good bit rates and sound good.
No, MP3 is... Well, here's a little shout out to you. So when you're recording something, when we're in a studio recording something, the sound files are actually wave format. So they are the broader, the bigger spectrum of it.
Sure.
However, for consumption and for public releases and stuff, it is downsized to MP3. That way the file isn't so big. So for example, one of my songs, it doesn't matter which one it is, it's usually at like 209 megabits on wave file. That's pretty damn huge, actually.
Sure.
That's like a 4K 6-minute video just on audio file alone. Compress that to MP3, it will only be like 5.9 megabits, and that's where the MP3 kind of excels in all this. It doesn't take as much. Yeah, you lose a little bit, but it's so minimal. You can't really hear it into your headphones because you're consuming it on headphones.
Not
like
on
in like a movie theater or something. That's a different format altogether.
Like I feel like, and especially way back when MP3s were, most of the ones that were traded were at like 128 kilobits per second, or even smaller, like 64 or 96 kilobits. You could definitely, I think the average person could discern on regular headphones the difference between that and like a CD recording. Now, again, like the industry and the hardware manufacturers are designing, their hardware and audio solutions for playing files of, that bit rate and higher. Like 320, I think, is like pretty standard for a lot of stuff. And, they got decoders on both ends, good digital audio converters that can kind of get pretty close to restoring most of that waveform. I mean, there's parts of the waveform that I don't say most people can't even hear. Like the super highs, the super low frequencies that are really a part of the master recording, but would be lost on a pair of, headphones, especially the ones that would come in a box with anything you'd buy today.
But that's, like I said, it's okay to lose that because you will still get some of it, but it's not like the full effect. Where if you were in a studio and you heard like that super low B flat or some junk, that it just grumbles, that you're not gonna hear in your headphones because it's not gonna pertain to you or anything. The MP3 format, it compresses that wave format to just about 95% of what it was, but still retains like literally all of it. But you're not gonna be. It's not as audible in your tubs or your cans. And I'm doing some studio speak here into you. But other than that, though, MP3s, just to give it some initial release was 93.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember. I mean, the first time I remember like using MP3s was probably around 95, and at that time, I think I had a computer with a hard drive that was like 100 megabytes. Like not 100 megabytes. So even back then, to like download one song at 4 megabytes was, like I said, that's a pretty significant chunk of space. Like I don't think I would have been able to like realistically hold a whole album's worth of music and still use that computer for anything else.
Correct.
But that still laid the foundation, for when the technology matured, when like you could expect to get a hard drive that had 500 megabytes, or 1 gigabyte, to then be able to kind of build a digital music collection. And also it didn't hurt that like, file sharing and, casual piracy stuff like Napster and LimeWire and Kazaa made it really, really easy for anyone with an internet connection and the ability to type in a few letters to kind of share and trade in music. And you can thank MP3s just for that.
Floppy disks from back then. I know Sean remembers this. That's were like the
1.4,
main things. This is what we roll with. There's the big 8-inch ones that stored most files, but the ones that we're most accustomed to is the 3.5 thing, the little tub that go in. They only held
1.4 megabytes.
1.4 megabits.
Yeah, that's so it. Even those, like a floppy disk wouldn't have been enough to store,
not even a song.
It's
like a quarter of a song.
And I also feel like the transfer rate on those things wouldn't have been enough to really like play back something. I mean,
it wouldn't.
But nonetheless, the people kind of will dictate, what, and the technology will dictate, like, what people will be able to do with their personal computers. And again, right around the end of the 90s, the hardware had gotten to a point where it was cheap enough and storage was starting to be large enough and internet penetration was prolific enough that you could start to move files around the internet. And again, without the MP3, we don't have half the things that we have now, or the marketplace isn't viable for all the stuff that we do with the internet as we do right now. I mean, we don't have this show that we're doing right now without the MP3 being as popular as it was. I mean, right now, this webcam that I'm pointing at right now is breaking down an MPEG base stream and compressing all that data down, high definition, and shooting it to Casey so he can look at my tired face and my Donkey Kong t-shirt.
T-shirt.
So love that hoodie. Produce this show for you guys. So shout out to the MP3. Shout out to LimeWire and Kazaa and, shout out to the Google Play Store and iTunes for keeping
making it standard.
For keeping the dream of what the MPEG 3 was designed to do alive, which is to, take high quality sound and video and make it compact enough to be transmitted over the internet in a reasonable amount of time.
Awesome. Now, if you haven't, let's give Sean. Kev, can I get another soundbite real quick?
Thanks, Kev.
There you go. If you haven't already, here's something that you should tell to your coworker or wherever you're listening. Do you guys know what MPEG stands for, or MP3 to shorten it? And here's your answer right here. The Moving Picture Experts Group. Something a little. It's so quirky and it's so weird, but people consume it in such a regular basis that they were like, what? That's what MP3 stands for? Or MPEG stands for? And they're like, what?
JPEG, the picture format, is pretty much the same thing too.
Same thing, yep. Same exact thing. It's from them. They just compress it all the same. All right, let's bring it up to the main screen. That's Sean's Tech Tuesday. Let me get it one more time. Just one more time. Shout out to Sean. Now, as we're kind of waning down, I do want to tackle just a couple more. And like I said, I will keep on saying it, okay? Thanksgiving is in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks. Are you prepared? Did you get your cranberry sauce? Are you ready for it? Did you get your dried gravy, if you haven't already, on your shelves? Let's give it a little shout out. Ding. What else can we get that's
double check your seasonings, because you don't want to be running out there without enough salt and pepper.
Seasonings. There we go.
Just go get it. It's cheap.
Or if you get I know my mother does it. She likes the Stouffer stuffing, like on the like the dried stuff. Mm-hmm. There we go. Look at some well now in there. I love that soundbite, by the way. Yeah, from my favorite Beastie Boys album, Intergalactic. Oh my god, I kept telling the guy. So here's I meant to tell you. So I did the gig Friday, right? Okay. And it was in Stage House, Mountainside, New Jersey. So about an hour and change from here. You just take the Parkway down, exit like 132 or whatever, by Elizabeth. So like Central Jersey. Okay. And I pull into it's in the highway. It's on Interstate 22. You go in, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's a bar joint. It's not a big deal. You come in, and I'm like, it looks kind of small because you can't really see it. And then you drive into the parking lot. Sean, when I tell you, there's a big expanse that happened when you pulled in, and I'm like, oh, why are there like 100 cars like right there? What's going on? I called my drummer. I was like, "Hey, where's the loading?" He's like, "It's right there. As soon as you pull in." I'm like, "There's no spot, so I just have a guitar and stuff anyway." So I went ahead and parked. I grabbed my stuff. I walk into the foyer. This thing has a foyer. So it used to be an old wedding venue, wedding hall or whatever. You go in, and Sean, 300 people right there, right in front. It just smacked right dab, and I got so excited. I got goosebumps right away because I know we're going to be playing for all these people in like a couple hours. So we troubleshoot. I did some photos, and this is the first time I'm going to say this. We have sound guys. We have roadies. So we employed some roadies for the night. They helped us with the sound. I'm going to say we had our whole company there that night. And it was a full-on production altogether. And I think people received it pretty well. Because it was just like, it was effortless. So we did our thing while the sound guys did their thing. And then I had my video and photo guys there too. All at the same time. Literally, we're full-on production, head to toe, from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. And we put on a damn good show. And I forgot my heels too, but it's okay. It's not a big deal. Or platform shoes, just so I'm a little taller than the guys. But it's okay. I still brought my the feather thing, the boa.
Your boa.
I have to. That's my favorite thing.
Where does one go to hire roadies for the night?
You can either, if you go to your local your local music store like Guitar Center, Sam Ash, they have services there, but you can also go ahead and type it up into your interwebs, and you'll get something like sound crew for hire for the night or some junk. But we just lucked out because the studio that we currently reside in, there's a lot of rooms and there's a lot of people that do stuff there, and it just so happens that one of the room there, they do services, and we knew them. We're like, this is a no-brainer. We know you guys.
Right.
Let's go. So that's how we did that event all together. But man, if you guys haven't, shout out to Stage House down in Route 22, down there by Central Jersey. Really cool spot. Huge. And there's going to be videos out soon. Okay. You'll see some of the stuff there, and you'll see a lot of I just want to say drunk folks are the funnest, okay? Especially drunk women that are like on their fourth or fifth drinks, only because they'll come up to the stage. They're like, hey, you, hey, come here. I just want to talk to you. And, obviously I'll play to the room. Like, hey, how are you? Like, can you just play this like right now? I'll tip you $200. I'm like,
guys, we're playing this right now.
I was like, hey, we're playing this right now. I don't care. At one point, they were yelling Creed. Sean, do you know why they're yelling Creed?
Because their eyes were wide open.
You get a DJ horn for that one. However, that's the only I sound like the dude. Like, we have the same raspy tone. Kinda. And they were like, oh my God, Creed, sing Creed. So for 30 seconds, I acapella'd Creed. And they were taken aback. They didn't know how to take it because it sounded like the dude. It sounded pretty good in my opinion. I think it did. And they were just like, oh wow. He can sing.
We weren't expecting all of that.
They were just expecting the song, but I sang it a cappella for 30 seconds, like the entire first verse into the chorus. And at one point, the band was like, "Do you just want to do this? Like, we can just step out for a second. Like, you can, we'll take a 3-minute break. We'll just smoke or do whatever, and then you can just a cappella the entire night." I'm like, "No, just this one time." But my final thought for you, Sean, and here I'm going to pull it up too. That same day, in the morning, do you know what that looks like, Sean?
It looks like a parking ticket.
It looks like a parking ticket because I got a fucking parking ticket.
Oh,
Friday
boy.
morning. I forgot to take my car out. So right in front of me is Friday parking, across the street.
Yeah.
I forgot I overslept. So
how much is it in your township?
This
$25.
$56.
I got a parking ticket like the day before I moved, for the same reason. Like I set an alarm because I was like, you got to move the car by like 8:00. So I set an alarm, and for like 7:30, I woke up. I went to the bathroom and was just like, man, I really need some more sleep. Go back to sleep. Roll back over at 8:15. I look out the window. My car is the only car across the street. And I'm just like,
oh no.
I go into I sprint out because sometimes they don't, make it down the street to check the cars. But sure enough, there was a nice orange New York City ticket on the window, and I was just like, well, guess I'm not moving this car.
How much of the tickets there for parking?
It was for parking. It's $45, and then if
That's
you
not bad.
pay, yeah. I mean, look, what's kind of messed up is like it's actually, if you had the means, right, it's actually cheaper just to leave your car parked on the street all the time than to pay for parking. Because all right, like
I get it.
You know, like it would be what, $90 a week if you just left it on the car, right? And so that's $360 a month, give or take, for a parking garage.
Yeah.
But most parking garages around me would charge significantly more than that a month.
A lot more.
I'm not saying park your car on the street, but it might
be cheaper.
It might be every once in a while. I mean, where I live right now, we got a driveway, so we're good. But nonetheless.
And then, Sean, I got one more for you.
Yeah.
Later on that night.
Another one?
Do you know what this one's for?
I got
another damn ticket coming up the parkway. They move over law. I didn't go over.
What's a move over law?
So if you see an emergency vehicle on either one of your side, you're supposed to slow down and transfer lanes as fast as you can. So whatever is happening there, they can do it safely. I'm pretty sure I moved over fast enough. Okay, I saw this, like I could see the lights. I could see it.
Sure.
But at the time, there's a car right here, the car right next to me. I can't really go over.
Slow.
Us two cars were trying to move over. This guy sped forward and moved. And he passed the car first. So I'm like, oh, that's iffy. I then managed to move over one into the middle.
Right.
But then the weird thing was I saw lights behind me, and I'm like, the guy's like right there, like literally a couple clicks. So maybe the Stadies pulled me over.
Okay.
So maybe they got the wrong car. Whatever. Regardless, we should have transferred fast enough or faster from one lane to over. So I have a summons in a couple weeks. I have to go to court for a move over law.
I feel for you, brother. I feel for you, but I think you might be all right. Like those small like magistrate Jersey town courts, they're pretty lenient. I'm sure if you explain it as you just explained it to me, it's reasonable. You saw it. You tried to move over. There was 3 cars. They'll probably
also 2 in the
give
morning,
you like.
Sean. We're all like half asleep trying to get home. You know
don't tell me you were asleep while you were driving. You were wide awake.
I was wide awake. I was paying attention.
Yeah, sorry. You were 100%, paying attention, and you knew that you had a civic duty to move over. But
yes.
You were bound by the laws of physics. It would have been unsafe for you to jam your foot down on the brake to get behind the car, but you moved over as soon as you could. And that's why you're here and alive.
That's why I'm here and alive. Exactly.
I love New Jersey.
That's all I gotta say.
You don't have to say that. But
Nani is what in Japanese? Nani, what? Huh?
Yeah, what?
It's like that. It's like, what? I was explaining to the officer as we were kind of wrapping around. He goes, because he looks at my car. He's like, is your rear camera active? I was like, no, officer. Well, technically it is. It records both front and back at the same time, simultaneously. Because I used to do Uber. Yeah. Just in case I hit something front or back, or something hits me, I have it recorded. And he was like, huh. I was like, I don't think I'm breaking any laws, but yes, it's recorded. He's like, no, I can see my car and the lights. I was like, okay. He's like, license and registration. So I gave it to him. And he goes, here you go. Literally, that's it. With a nice face.
Right, well.
It's like, here you go. Have a good day. You drive safe. And he pulled out first. When it's and here's the funny thing. I see him again in about 5 minutes because they wrap around and stuff.
Sure.
Same dude pulls to the back of me, goes to the right and moves over. And I'm like, you're passing in the wrong lane, sir. Right. Just to let you know, passing lanes on the left. I was salty at this time.
Sure. Okay?
No, because now I have to pay a damn ticket. Question for you: Do you know how much these go for? The move over the law violations?
All right, so I would assume it's probably pretty punitive. So what, like $150?
$300, Sean.
Jesus Christ, yeah. Nah, you need to, talk to the judge. I'm sure, again, if you explain it just like you explained it to me, in fact, just play him this podcast. Just play him the podcast. Explain them just as you explained it to me. I'm sure they'll give you like court costs. They'll be like, give us $25 because you showed up, and and they'll probably let you skate.
I'm actually gonna contact a lawyer just in case. So here's after looking through, it doesn't give you any points into your license. However, there's a really high chance that it will hike up your insurance, and that's what I cannot rebuttal to the judge. However, a representative would be better to do so, and I don't want my insurance to hike up. So yes, I will pay a little bit of a lump sum, but in the long run, it saves me the thousands for years. Or I think it's like over 3 years. Yeah. They always do it. I don't want to do that, so I'm gonna employ a representative. However, Sean, as we're closing, like I said, Thanksgiving is in 2 weeks. I want to give them one recipe of mine, so they can kind of give a little ifs and buts. So if you are to do your own gravy, okay, like I mentioned, I butterfly my turkey, so it's already splayed out. It cooks in about an hour and a half. It's super fast. The end fixings that come out of the turkey, take a little bit, put it into a pan. And here's where it gets tricky. You're going to sift it into like a finer chinois. That's a technical term. A finer sifter. The chinois. So it's like double sifted with the so when you pass liquids through, it will sift it fine. I cannot English today, Sean. So it will catch it a little better. Do that twice. So the broth that comes out is super clean, super
clear, super fine,
clear. Right. You then add your butter, and here's the tricky part. You're gonna take maybe a tablespoon of water and a tablespoon of flour. You mix that together first. That's the key.
Right. That makes dump the flour. Slurry.
You're going to make a slurry, and mix it in, and then gradually add it to your gravy. Essentially, that's what we're making.
Sure.
Cook it. If you like the thickness, cool. If not, add some more. Cook it. It takes about 2 to 3 minutes. And the main crucial part is then you taste it.
Sure.
A lot of people forget
make sure it's seasoned.
Yeah, a lot of people forget it. My mother is an offender, I should just say. Okay. She would just like add. No taste. And then by the time we then, have some gravy, like, it's so salty. What is going on? Ma, did you taste this? She's like, no, I just added salt. Thanks, Mom. So that's what you're going to do. That's how you make the perfect gravy, in my opinion.
So can you add, so I'm just going to a question. I mean, I know the answer to it, but maybe you can help everyone else. Why are you adding in your slurry slowly? And what else do you have to do to it as you're adding it?
As I'm adding the slurry slowly, it gives you the time to make sure that it's the right thickness. Because if you just dump the entire thing and then it turns into a clump, that's your fault.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be either like one big clump or you're going to have lumps in it. And that's like the worst. So yeah, you definitely want to like add it in slowly. Again, you got two minutes or so, like you said, 2-3 minutes to make add it in slowly and stir it or whisk it in as you're doing it so that like it's evenly being dispersed in the liquid to make your gravy.
Correct.
And if you don't happen to have flour and water, you can use cornstarch, but you can use significantly less. So I want to say like generally less. If you use if you would use 4 parts of flour, you would only use 1 part of cornstarch because it's significantly thicker. But you definitely got to like stir it in.
That one's a slurry also. That needs to be in a slurry form.
Yeah, it needs to be in a slurry and you need to manage your heat. So don't boil while you're adding it in. You want to like bring your heat down to a simmer, and then, stir it in like so you get a nice even thickness.
There's a thing that we say in the kitchens. If you become a cook long enough, you have this love for cornstarch all of a sudden, because if you can't find butter, if you can't find anything, you need something to make this damn thicker cornstarch, and it becomes your left hand or your right hand, whichever one you're dominant, and you kind of use it most generally. However, that is your tip for the day. We will do a definite podcast as we're nearing Thanksgiving for the stuff, and let's get the battle theme going as we're kind of going around. There we go. As we're kind of going into the closing now, let's just say Chef's Meal airs every Tuesday with Sean and myself. And if you haven't already, let me bring it up to the main screen. Let me blow it up. On Anchor.com or anywhere you find your podcast, you can stream it anywhere, on Apple, on Spotify, whatever. You can find us by just typing in Chef Salty Pork, and you can find it anywhere and everywhere. Leave us a like, leave us a comment, leave us a review if you so like it. Also, if you haven't, Chef Salty Pork on Patreon.com, Pork and Wine. We'll give you all the tidbits right there. I'll give you, well, you can't really see it because you need to join, the family. I'll give you a little, it looks like a censored porn. It is not.
I don't know anything about that. I don't know.
This is not going on. It's just podcasts and pictures.
What is porn? I don't understand the internet.
Okay. It just looks sketchy if you're not a subscriber. Oh my goodness, we'll blow it up to the other one. On YouTube, you can find a Chef Salty Pork podcast, Pork and Wine for my regular. And then you can hit up Sean on Twitter at MetroCardX.
Hit me up.
If we aren't busy, we're going to get to you. If we are busy, that's too bad. We will get to you eventually. Or he will get to you eventually, because I don't do Twitter.
I promise.
Only Sean does. Who does Twitter?
I will hit you back.
What is that?
It's a platform for jokes first and quality information second. Mostly confusion, but the fun lies somewhere in the mix of all of that.
If you haven't already, AskChefSalty@gmail.com. That is our email. Send your links, send your funnies, send whatever, and we will review them live on air. And I say that live on air because, Sean, we are live. This is video format. You can see us. Wait, what's that? And also I figured out the little sound bites here.
Cha-ching.
Okay, if you haven't already, Sean, you got one other final thing to tell everybody?
Yeah. My final tip for this week is make sure you're getting enough rest. This weekend was it was a fun weekend, but it was a very, very long weekend. And when you're traveling, you got like huge athletic endeavors. Nothing is more important than like good rest and good meals. Give yourself, the relaxation and the fuel you need to get all your stuff done. So that is my tip for now and for always. Get as much sleep as you can. eat the best food that you can. Not the most expensive food, but the best food.
The best food
for your endeavor. Yeah.
But Sean.
We have come so far. You don't understand, man. If you're listening to this audio feed, I'm dancing in my seat in the video because we've come so far from recording this on a phone in the closet, literally, and now we're doing it multiple video streams, multiple monitor setups. He's in his house, I'm in my spot, and now we got a soundboard.
We have sound now. The only thing that would make this better, because if you can see right now on my phone,
yes,
I can add more. So there's more spaces. Hold on, right there. There's some more on that side. This is all the soundboard for the time being. I would like to have, I have a tablet, but I can't find it. So if I can hook that up somehow and make that work with this, I think we are. That will give me a little better of a feel. Yeah.
It's going to make it a lot easier for Kevin.
And other than that, we'll tune you out with some applause. Kevin, just give me a second.
Thanks, Kev.
That's it. Other than that,
peace out, internet.